So, when I was completely alone, how did my faith first show up for me? Well, Jiminy Christmas. I'm not gonna go back too far, but when I was completely alone was when I was homeless, and I had a foundation already, right? Always been on this journey. I'm a spiritualist. Okay, it's just what it is, and I had only come so far, and I was stuck and I was stagnant in the place where I was because things were starting to change socially, and I had just finished my BA, and I was just like, I don't know what to do because every time I do what I know I should do or what is I'm being told to do, and I'm doing it the right way, I get I get hit. I get some racist or some sexism or homophobia, depending on the flavor of the month, I guess, and how to sabotage and disparage somebody. And I had always had anxiety, always had PTSD. I wasn't diagnosed with CPTSD at the time, so I always had PTSD, always had depression, etc., and always been creative. So, but I hit this point after I got my bachelor's in filmmaking and script writing. I was like, I don't even know what to do because I'm working on people's projects in this town that I'm in, and I'm not getting the respect. Everybody wants me to give, but nobody wants me to get. And I tell you what. So I was in that point where I was wanting to unalive myself. I said, I can't keep going like this. And I said one time I was just feeling in my heart, I guess, and I said, I'd like a fur baby, puppy or something, right? Because I'd always had cats. I like cats, but I was more of a dog person anyway. But I was, and then I got saved, so I got a fur baby. I called her Prosperity, and she was came from a traumatic experience, and that's how we met. And she didn't know, but she saved my life, and we were twins, my daughter. And she'd been with me through thick and thin. And so when she was unalived, um, my faith had to step in because I lost it. And I'm gonna say that I lost it because I lost it. There was a part of me that split from me, the physical me, and I lost it. And I saw myself throwing my hands up, and I have two other fur babies, my grand fur baby and my other daughter. And I was like, okay, boom. I'd thrown them all to the wind because I was like, if I could, here I am, I'm promising that we're going to get off the streets and that we're going to get a house and a big yard. I never thought that she would go, that she would pass away ever, right? Because I worked so hard to protect her to a point where she was uncomfortable because where are we supposed to go? And was the nature of the abuse that I was experiencing. This isolation by somebody who um, was basically trying to sacrifice me, and it didn't work, right? And so I was being punished for it not working, and so in order they wanted to feel me have pain, and that was the source of my pain. I couldn't eat for 3 months. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm done. This was after I'd gone through my transformation because they had blocked my new beginning, and then I'd go through another blocked my new beginning, just blocks. And I was like, I'm so tired of going through this, Father. I'm tired. I'm tired. Okay? I'm tired. I'm exhausted, right? So I don't know about the people say, oh, God doesn't give you more than you can bear. Yes, it's not God that gives you more than you can bear. That is correct. But what we need to put in perspective is those who are against God and against those who He's chosen do put on you more than you can bear. And that was it. And so my faith at that time, and I'm just being transparent, my faith at that time was that I wanted to be here to see those who had stalked me, those who had sabotaged me, those who had tried to unalive me for the reason of just existing or hearsay from some other people, got me involved in all this drama that I've never been involved in my whole entire life, and I still don't do it, and still won't let me rest to this day. They're obsessed, okay? That I would see the reward of the wicked. Other times when I was homeless, it was, God, I want to know you. I want to know you like my spiritual mom said, that you show up for her. I don't want you to show up for me like she showed up for her, but I want to know you because I may not make it off the streets. Right? I'm 40 years old. I may not make it off the streets, but I was fasting. I was doing OMAD. I was already, it was like I was working out. I'm about that life, and until, people keep piling it up and trying to squeeze you into a box so you can't do anything. But at that time, I said, God, I want to know you for myself. I said, because I want to remember. I said, obviously, some of my Akashic records may have been erased, or I didn't pick it up when I was supposed to, and it got sent back to the other library. But I must have forgotten something because I put myself here, where I'm around other people who are mentally ill or who are drug pimps and all this other kind of stuff, and digging out of garbages and stuff. And here I am. I have nobody. I didn't have family, nothing. Not that I didn't call on people who said that they were in my bloodline, but now that I've cleared generational curses, we got a new bloodline. So I'm grateful for that. But I said, I want to know you. I want to actually know you, and not what the pastor or preacher says. I want to know you. And I said, even if I don't make it, at least I'll have some memory of who you are to me and what I am. Okay? And so here I am still. 2017 and it's 2026 and here I am still. I got blocked. Sometimes they will try and delay. They can't take, but they will try and delay. They will delay what is yours. Right? And so faith is, if I'm obedient to my intuition, right? Not to the gaslighting of the outside world that says we're in the spiritual psychosis. Okay, well, you go through what I went through and see if you get a spiritual psychosis too. Probably the best thing that would ever happen to you. I don't know where that term came from, and I really don't know what it means. I know what a psychosis is because I've dealt with people who are in a psychosis. I have several men who think that a lesbian is in a relationship with them. You dig it? So, I just know what I went through. And it was my faith that pulled me through. My faith showed up as fasting, as praying, reciting scripture, chanting mantra. I had to get a bigger God. And that's what God showed me. I am not a man that I would lie to you. So if you tell me that you want something, I am going to prepare you for that. So you have to listen. So I did the fasting so that my ears would be open, my spiritual ears would be open, and my heart would hear the ring so that I would pick up the call. You dig it? So that's what showed up for me. And that's priceless. I was so happy. I'm still happy, that at least I got that I have a relationship with the Most High God. And just recently I thought I was going to be in the same position because people were trying to create that same situation. But God said, remember, I am your source of supply. So I didn't engage in any type of, oh gosh, this is what, okay. Said my mantras every day, said warfare prayers, said warding my name and calling in, everything that's owed to me. That's a whole different ball game. And I said, so God is still showing me, see, this is how we work. You're on a higher vibration. You're in the world, but you're not of it. You got to listen to what I'm saying, right? So my faith plays a pivotal role, even though I'm not under a label, right? I am still part of the chosen group, and I'm still have to be obedient to the Most High God, the Most High Creator, and because it's the best way. And they bless better than than if I was with Beelzebub or whoever else is out there. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question.